Hello, my name is Taylor Beneke, and this presentation is in preparation of the Striker Spark Conference at California University of Pennsylvania here in a couple of weeks. What I am presenting is titled The Costs and Benefits of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives, a Literature Review. There we go. So, what's your story? My story is that I am a business management student with a minor in finance, and I am going to be graduating this semester summa cum laude. And I am researching on this particular topic because it's not only my own research interest, but there is so much that discrimination in the workplace. In other words, they're just one large cesspool of discrimination. I mean, the employees can have a file full of applications full of diverse employees and non-diverse employees. The employer would only consider the non-diverse employees before considering the diverse employees because it's just pure discrimination. So my research, so I mean, I'm hoping that my research resolves that discrimination in the workplace, and my goal is to take this to regional and national conventions to present it to come up with a more bigger solution to present at corporations around the world. So discrimination as a excuse me, discrimination as a cost. So in this um slide, you'll see a performance review that says excellent, good, fair, poor, and satisfactory, and then a picture that says fair treatment in the workplace, and it will have a bunch of employees that seem to be having a good time. So let's go with the first picture. In an article titled Managing Diversity and Equality in the Workplace, Sharma looked into the relationship among performance reviews and diversity, such as culture, affirmative action programs, and the company's DEI programs, which, by the way, DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Angel Sharma found that performance reviews were used to discriminate against employees. For example, some bosses only offer constructive feedback to employees that looked like them and chose not to help diverse employees. So, in other words, let's say a manager has a very strong skill set, they're smart, they know how to perform quality work, and there's the three employees that are very alike to that manager. So, the manager would give them a good review. Well, if we look at diverse applicants, the manager just said, "Nope, not helping you. You're on your own. If you want help, go somewhere else because I'm not helping you." That's basically what the results have found in that particular study by Angel Sharma, and it is a big issue that needs addressed because, from my own perspective, managers should always be there for employees. Managers should always be about employee retention, employee success, and what they are doing it's just uncalled for, and it's a fantastic way to um, have employees quit their jobs at the company. So, with the second picture, in an article titled Managing and Leading a Diverse Workforce, one of the main challenges in management, a scholar named Shaban provided an explanation on the strategy administration of a company uses to have diverse teams perform their jobs effectively, as well as focusing all attention on the challenges of business management in a company that has a diverse workforce. And the scholar found that one of the challenges a manager of an organization faces is leading and treatment of diverse workers in an organization. So what the author is basically saying is that a manager has so much trouble leading and treating diverse workers equally. But if it was non-diverse employees, it's like, hey, how are you doing? It's like they do not struggle treating and managing non-diverse workers, but they have trouble managing diverse workers, if that makes sense. So attraction and retention issues. So in these three pictures, you will see it says attraction, conversion, and retention, which and this chart basically means attracting employees, converting them into workers that actually perform their jobs proficiently, and retaining those employees with benefits. And in the second picture, you will see a bunch of millennials having a good time. And in the third picture, you will see critical thinking. It's more of a chart. where it says that having a higher workforce diversity means it leads to critical thinking, reasoning, problem solving, and evaluating. And I will discuss this later on in this slide. Um, so, in an article titled Organizational Attractiveness and Individual Differences, are diverse applicants attracted by different factors? Two scholars named Thomas and Wise, that's our last names by the way, informed the readers the results of an investigation of Masters of Business Administration applicants that investigated the importance of various factors such as organization, diversity, and recruitment through testing of organizational attractiveness, as well as the extent where these assessments have differed. And the two scholars found that organizational characteristics mentioned above are most important to organizational attraction. Once you have attraction down in this chart right here, you can then convert the employees into employees that perform the job proficiently. Then you can focus on retaining the employees. Because per human resources, I'm not trying to talk about human resources right now, but you need to have a good talent pipeline before you can even think about attracting, converting, and retaining those employees. So, on to the second picture. Millennials also face obstacles to attraction. In an article titled Leading a Multi Generational Workforce Strategies for Attracting and Retaining Millennials, Cahill and Cedric looked into the topic of generational millennials and gave advice concerning numerous changes that managers or administrative staff may use to advance the ability of organizations to reel in and retain millennials. This topic has been an issue for a very long time now, as leaders in the healthcare profession have noticed some tension within millennials and that they are more focused on the behavior of millennial applicants. So basically, employers do not want someone that's just gonna be slacking off the entire job. Somebody that's not just gonna be playing on their computers, hanging out with friends and the organization. Employers want somebody that actually gets the job done that will best benefit the company best. Then then in the third picture, good DEI initiatives can work though, but there are times when DEI initiatives fail tremendously, unfortunately. In an article titled Prospects and Challenges of Workplace Diversity in Modern Day Organizations, a critical review, Cletus and a bunch of other scholarly authors in this field present various dire issues that currently affected workplace diversity, also known as WPD, in day-to-day operations-based organizations. After Cletus conducted the study on WPD, the results discovered that having a strong, diverse workforce enhances employees to think critically, critical thinking, which leads to employee reasoning, then problem solving, then evaluating. So, role of management as a cost. Let me describe these four pictures. So, in this first picture right here, you will see a person of color, a doctor, someone that looks like a farmer, a nurse, a businessman, looks like a babysitter, and a janitor. And in this one, you will see a flowchart of organizational capability, an equality quote, and a diversity paradigm. So the role of so let me begin with the first picture. The role of management in the success of DEI initiatives is documented. In an article titled Human Resources Practices in Workforce Diversity, an empirical assessment, Donato and Sahal looked into the extent of human resource management, also known as HRM, policies and procedures that were being implemented in the workplace to better manage diversity in the workplace. They also looked at the challenges and benefits of having a diverse workplace in an organization. Upon completion of the study, they concluded that management of workforce diversity is mediocre, and diversity management practices were located within recruitment and in other areas of HRM. And in an article titled Mitigating Multi-General Conflict and Attracting, Motivating, and Retaining Millennial Employees by um, by changing the organizational culture, a theoretical model, Carpenter and Turan looked into what strategy a hierarchical model business leads millennials workforce employee and how the company attracts, inspires, and retains those employees that were attracted. The results turned out to be if organizations do not reposition themselves to meet the issues of our current generational workforce, so Gen X, Gen Y, Z, then Generation Double A, more issues relating to retention, transfer, and reduced competitive advantage. In an article titled Managing Workforce Diversity, Developing a Workforce, Kim had similar findings. The benefits of having an efficient diversity management system, such as a diversity paradigm, um, an efficient diversity management system includes diversity management strategies that use diversity based paradigms to develop diversity learning organizations. In this fourth picture right here, you will see an example of a diversity paradigm. So it says discrimination and fairness, equal opportunity, fair treatment, recruitment of minorities. So Gen Y and Z would qualify as as minority, and strict compliance with laws. So basically, making sure that the company follows the Civil Rights Act and several other acts relating to human resource and labor relations that relate to discrimination in the workplace. Because I don't think companies know that if they discriminate employees, that those employees could get labor relations involved, the union involved, then it could just be one big mess. And access and legitimacy, acceptance and celebration of differences. So basically, celebrating the differences and diversity in the workplace. So yay, we have diversity in the workplace is basically what that chart is saying. And learning and effectiveness. Um, excuse me. Learning and effectiveness, integrating deep level differences into organization. And then the last and final um, slide on this PowerPoint that goes with my research is gender as a key marker. So in this picture, you will see um, gender stickers. And these are typical stickers that you will find on a men's and women's bathroom. But like, hey, this bathroom is for males only. This bathroom is for females only. Then in the second picture, you'll see gender diversity in the workplace. So if you've ever seen the balance system with law, you'll see that there were like it kind of like balances out. And this picture is basically saying that males and females want equal treatment in the workplace. Do not be favoritizing female employees over male employees because that will not increase retention. It will more reduce retention than it does anything if um, employees do this. But in an article titled Retaining a Diverse Workforce, the Impact of Gender Focused Human Resource Management, Ollie et al. Investigated a main effect assumption consequent from the demography theory and the effect that was moderated from this relational coursework. Following this thorough study of results have shown that if gender diversity is higher than the statistical diverse framework, a higher gender diversity leads to lower turnover in companies with gender focused practices and procedures. So, my research question. So, you just got the gist of what my literature review is like. And as you see, it is very interesting if you were actually listening. So, all of my findings are going to be leading to a research question. Do the benefits of DEI initiatives outweigh the costs? So, based on my findings in this literature review, I will be continuing my study on diversity in the workplace by focusing immensely on the research question: do the benefits of DEI initiatives outweigh the costs? And then pilot study. So in this picture, you will see in a computer that said just independent research. Then it seems to be a notebook, I think. Then in the second picture, you'll see an academic convention. So why these two photos? Why a pilot study? So over the course of this summer, I plan on independently researching on the topic I just said. Do the benefits of DEI initiatives outweigh the costs? Then, as I stated at the beginning, my focus is to get this to regional and national conventions such as this, so I can make an impact on society. Then take this to big corporations and hopefully reduce the level of discrimination that is happening in the world today. Then the conclusion of this entire PowerPoint. This literature review has covered a variety of diversity related topics such as discrimination as a cost, attraction and retention issues in the workplace, role of management, and gender as a key marker. There's a lot of work that needs done to fix the diversity issues in the workplace, and my hope is that my research will come up with solutions to resolve these issues. Then the next 6 slides are just my um so, references. So you'll see there's Thomas and Wise, Organizational Attractiveness and Individual Differences, um, Sharma Angel, Kim Shaubin, Donato, and Jane and Dipboy, Carpenter, Cox and Blake, and Cletus, and Ollie, and Cahill and Cedric. So I would now like to end this presentation with a couple of acknowledgements. First acknowledgement goes out to a very dear friend of mine and my research mentor, Dean of the College of Education and Liberal Arts, Dean Kristen Majaka. Kristen has been a very dear friend of mine, and she has been backing me up with all this research. Like, she has been giving me steps because this has been my first ever research type of study. And she always said, Taylor, this is what you do. This is what you do next. And this is how you basically put everything. So, thank you.